Hey guys, I'm back. Today I'm going to read Genesis 19 to 24, Proverbs 7, and Psalm 74. Let's get started. The two angels came to Sodom in the evening, and Lot was sitting in the gate of Sodom. When Lot saw them, he rose to meet them and bowed himself with his face to the earth and said, My lords, please turn aside to your servant's house and spend the night and wash your feet. Then you may rise up early and go on your way. They said, No, we will spend the night in the town square. And he pressed them strongly, so they turned aside to him and into his house. And he made them a feast and baked unleavened bread, and they ate. But before they lay down, the men of the city, the men of Sodom, both young and old, all the people to the last man, surrounded the house. And they called to Lot, Where are the men who came to you tonight? Bring them out to us, that we may know them. Lot went out to the men at the entrance, shut the door after him, and said, I beg you, my brothers, do not act so wickedly. And behold, I have 2 daughters who have not known any man. Let me bring them out to you, and do to them as you please. Only do nothing to these men, as they have come under the shelter of my roof. And if they said, Stand back, and this fellow came to sojourn, and he has become the judge. Now we will deal worse with you than with them. Then they pressed hard against the man-law, and drew near to break their door down. But the men reached out their hands and brought Lot into the house with them and shut the door. And they struck with blindness the men who were at the entrance, both small and great, so that they wore themselves out, broken before the door. Then the men said to Lot, Have you anyone else here, sons-in-law, sons, daughters, or anyone you have in the city? Bring them out of the place, for we are about to destroy this place, because the outcry against this people has become great before the Lord, and the Lord has sent us to destroy it. So Lot went out and said to his sons-in-law, who were to marry his daughters, Up, get out of this place, for the Lord is about to destroy the city. And he seemed to his sons-in-law to be jesting. As morning dawned, the angels urged Lot, saying, Take your wife and your 2 daughters who are here, lest you be swept away in the punishment of the sea that he lingered. So the men seized him and his wife and his 2 daughters by the hand, the Lord being merciful to him. And they brought him out and set him outside the city. And as they brought them out, one said, Escape for your life. Do not look back or stop anywhere in the valley. Escape to the hills, lest you be swept away. And Lot said to him, O no, my lord, behold, your servant has found favor in your sight, and you have shown me great kindness and saved my life. And I cannot escape into the hills, lest the disaster overtake me and I die. Behold, this city is near enough to flee to, and it is a little one. Let me escape hither. This is not a little one, and my life will be saved. He said to him, Behold, I grant you this favor also, that I will not overthrow the city of which you have spoken. Escape there quickly, but I could do nothing until you arrive there. Therefore the name of the city was called Zoar. The sun had risen on the earth when Lot came to Zoar. Then the Lord rained on Sodom and Gomorrah sulphur and fire from the Lord out of heaven. And he overthrew those cities and all the valley, and all the inhabitants of the cities, and what grew on them. And Lot's wife behind him looked back, and she became a pillar of salt. And Abraham went early in the morning to the place where he had stood before the Lord. And he looked down towards Sodom and Gomorrah, and toward all the land of the valley. And he looked, and behold, the smoke of the land went out like the smoke of a furnace. So it was that, when God destroyed the cities of the valley, God remembered Abraham, and sent Lot out of the midst of the overthrow, when he overthrew the cities in which Lot had lived. And so Lot went up out of Zoar, and lived in the hills with his 2 daughters, for he was afraid to live in Zoar. So he lived in a cave with his 2 daughters. And the firstborn said to the younger, Our father is old, and there is not a man on earth to come in to us after the manner of all the earth. Come, let us make our father drink wine, and we will lie with him, that we may preserve offspring for our father. So they made their father drink wine that night. And the firstborn went in and lay with her father. She did not know when she lay down and when she arose. And the next day the firstborn said to the young, Behold, I lay last night with my father. Let us make him drink wine tonight also. Then you go in and lie with him, that we may preserve offspring from our father. And then they made their father drink wine that night also. And the younger arose and lay with him. And he did not know when she lay down or when she arose. Thus both the daughters of Lot became pregnant by their father. Their firstborn bore a son, and called his name Moab. He is the father of the Moabites to this day. The younger also bore a son, and called his name Ben-Ami. He is the father of the Ammonites to this day. From there Abraham journeyed toward the territory of the Negeb, and lived between Kadesh and Shur, and he sojourned in Gerar. And then Abraham said to Sarah his wife, She is my sister. And Abimelech king of Gerar sent and took Sarah. But God came to Abimelech in a dream by night and said to him, Behold, you are a dead man because of the woman whom you have taken, for she is a man's wife. Now Abimelech had not approached her. So he said, Lord, will you kill innocent people? Did he not himself say to me, She is my sister? And she herself said, He is my brother. In the integrity of my heart and the innocence of my hands I have done this. Then God said to him in the dream, Yes, I know that you have done this in the integrity of your heart, and it was I who kept you from sinning against me. Therefore I do not let you touch her. Now then, return the man's wife, for he is a prophet, so that he will pray for you, and you shall live. But if you do not return her, know that you shall surely die, you and all who are yours. So Abimelech rose early in the morning and called all his servants and told them all these things. And the men were very much afraid. Then Abimelech called Abraham and said to him, What have you done to us? And how have I sinned against you, that you have brought on me and my kingdom a great sin? You have done too many things that ought not to be done. Then Abimelech said to Abraham, What did you see that you did this thing? Abraham said, I did it because I thought, There is no fear of God in all in this place, and they will kill me because of my wife. Besides, she is indeed my sister, the daughter of my father, though not the daughter of my mother. And she became my wife. And then when God caused me to wander from my father's house, I said to her, This is the kindness you must do me. At every place to which we come, save me. He is my brother. Then Abimelech took sheep and oxen, a male servant and female servants, and gave them to Abraham, and returned Sarah his wife to him. And Abimelech said, Behold, my land is before you. Go where it pleases you. To Sarah he said, Behold, I have given your brother 1,000 pieces of silver. It is a sign of your innocence in the eyes of all who are with you, and now before everyone who you have vindicated. Then Abraham prayed to God, and God healed Abimelech, and also healed his wife and female slaves, so that they bore children. Well, the Lord had closed all the wombs of the house of Abimelech because of Sarah, Abraham's wife. And the Lord visited Sarah as he said, and the Lord did to Sarah as he had promised. And Sarah conceived and bore Abraham a son in his old age at the time of which God had spoken to her. Abraham called the name of his son who was born to him, whom Sarah bore him, Isaac. Then Abraham circumcised his son Isaac when he was 8 days old, as God had commanded him. Abraham was 100 years old when his son Isaac was born to him. And then Sarah said, God has made laughter for me, that everyone who hears will laugh at me. And she said, Who would have said to Abraham that Sarah would nurse children? Yet I have borne him a son in his old age. And the child grew and was weaned. And Abraham made a great feast on the day that Isaac was weaned. And Sarah saw the son of Hagar the Egyptian, whom she had born to Abraham, laughing. So she said to Abraham, Cast out the slave woman with her son. So the son of the slave woman shall not be here with my son Isaac. And the thing was very displeasing to Abraham on account of his son. But God said to Abraham, Be not displeased because of the boy and because of your slave woman. Whatever Sarah says, you do as she tells you. For though Isaac shall your offspring be named, and I will make a nation of the son of the slave woman nation, because he is your offspring. So Abraham rose early in the morning and took bread and a skin of water and gave it to Hagar, putting it on her shoulder, along with her child, and sent her away. And she departed and wandered in the wilderness of Beersheba. When the water in the skin was gone, she put the child under one of the bushes. Then she went and sat down opposite him a good way off, about the distance of a bow shot. But she said, Let me not look on the death of the child. And she sat opposite him, and she lifted up her voice and wept. And God heard the voice of the boy. And the angel of the Lord God called Hagar from heaven, and said to her, What troubles you, Hagar? Fear not, for God has heard the voice of the boy where he is. Up, lift the boy, and hold him fast with your hand, for I will make him into a great nation. And God opened her eyes, and she saw well water. And she went and filled the skin with water, and gave the boy drink. And God was with the boy, and he grew up. He lived in the wilderness, and became an expert with the bow. He lived in the wilderness of Paran, and his mother took a wife from him from the land of Egypt. At that time, Abimelech and Pharaoh, the commander of his army, said to Abraham, God is with you in all that you do. Now therefore swear to me here by God that you will not deal falsely with me, or with my descendants, or with my posterity, that as I have dealt kindly with you, so that you will deal with me and with the land where you have sojourned. And Abraham said, I'll swear. And when Abraham reproved Abimelech about a well of water that Abimelech's servants had seized, Abimelech said, I do not know who has done this thing. You did not tell me, and I have not heard of it until today. So Abraham took sheep and oxen and gave them to Abimelech, and the two men made a covenant. Abraham set 7 ewe lambs of the flock apart. Then Abimelech said to Abraham, "What is the meaning of these 7 ewe lambs that you have set apart?" He said, "These 7 ewe lambs you will take from my hand. This may be a witness for me that I dug this well." Therefore that place was called Beersheba, because both of them swore an oath. So they made a covenant at Beersheba. Then Abimelech and Phicol, the commander of his army, rose up and returned to the land of the Philistines. Abraham planted a tamarisk tree in Beersheba and called there on the name of the Lord, the everlasting God. And Abraham sojourned many days in the land of the Philistines. After these things, God tested Abraham and said to him, "Abraham." And he said to him, "Here I am." And he said, "Take your son, your only son Isaac, whom you love, and go to the land of Moriah, and offer him there as a burnt offering on one of the mountains, of which I shall tell you." So Abraham rose early in the morning, saddled his donkey, and took 2 of his young men with him, and his son Isaac. And he cut the wood for the burnt offering, and arose and went to the place of which God had told him. And on the 3rd burnt offering, and arose, and he went to the place of which God had told him. On the 3rd burnt offering, on the 3rd day, Abraham lifted up his eyes and saw the place from afar. Then Abraham said to his young man, "Stay here with the donkey. I and the boy will go over there and worship, and come again to you." And Abraham took the wood of the burnt offering and laid it on Isaac his son. And he took in his hand the fire and the knife. So they went both of them together. And Isaac said to his father Abraham, "My father." And he said, "Here I am, my son." He said, "Behold, the fire and the wood, but where's the lamb for a burnt offering?" Then Abraham said, "God will provide for himself the lamb for a burnt offering, my son." So they went both of them together. And they came to the place of which God had told them. Abraham built the altar there, and laid the wood in order, and bound Isaac his son, and laid it on the altar on top of the wood. And Abraham reached out his hand and took the knife to slaughter his son. But the angel of the Lord called to him from heaven and said, "Abraham, Abraham." And he said, "Here I am." He said, "Do not lay your hand on the boy or do anything to him, for now I know that you fear God, seeing that you have not withheld your son, your only son, from me." And Abraham lifted up his eyes and looked, and behold, behind him was a ram caught in the thicket by its horns. And Abraham went and took the ram and offered it up as a burnt offering instead of his son. And so Abraham called the name of that place, "The Lord will provide," as it is said to this day, "On the mount of the Lord shall be provided." And the angel of the Lord called to Abraham a second time from heaven and said, "By myself I have sworn, declares the Lord, because you have done this and have not withheld your son, your only son, I will surely bless you, and I will surely multiply your offspring as the stars of heaven, and as the sand that is on the seashore. And your offspring shall possess the gate of his enemies, and in your offspring shall all the nations of the earth be blessed, because you have obeyed my voice." So Abraham returned to his young men, and they arose and went together to Beersheba. And Abraham lived at Beersheba. Now after these things it was told to Abraham, "Behold, Milcah has borne children to your brother Nahor, as his firstborn, Buz his brother, Kemuel the father of Aaron, Chesed, Hazer, Heldash, Jidlaph, and Bethuel the father of Rebekah. These 8 Milcah bore to Nahor, Abraham's brother. Moreover, his concubine, whose name was Reumah, bore Tebah, Gaham, Tahash, and Maacah. Sarah lived 127 years. These were in the years of the life of Sarah. And Sarah died at Kiriath Arba, in the land of Canaan. And Abraham went in to mourn for Sarah and to weep for her. And Abraham rose up from before his dead, and said to the Hittites, "I am a sojourner and foreigner among you. Give me property among you for a burying place, that I may bury my dead out of my sight." And the Hittites answered Abraham, Here is my Lord. You are a prince of God among us. Bury your dead in the choicest of our tombs. None of us will withhold from you his tomb to hinder you from burying your dead." Abraham rose and bowed to the Hittites, the people of the land. And he said to them, "If you are willing that I should bury my dead out of my sight, hear me and entreat for me Ephron the son of Zohar, that he may give me the cave of Machpelah, which he owns, and it is at the end of his field. For the full price, let him give it to me in your presence as property for a burying place." Now Ephron was sitting among the Hittites, and Ephron the Hittite answered Abraham in the hearing of the Hittites, of all who went in at the gate of his city. Remember, hear me, I give you the field, and I give you the cave that is in it. And some of the sons of my people I give it to you. Where are your dead? Then Abraham bowed down before the people of the land. And he said to Ephron in the hearing of the people of the land, if you will hear me, and give the price of the field, a scepter from me, that I may bury my dead there. Ephron answered Abraham, my lord, listen to me. A piece of land worth 400 shekels of silver. What is that between you and me? Bury your dead. Abraham listened to Ephron, and Abraham weighed out for Ephron the silver that he had named in the hearing of the heirs, 400 shekels of silver, according to the weights current among the merchants. So the field of Ephron and Machpelah, which was to the east of them, the field and the cave that was in it, and all the trees that were in the field, throughout its whole area, and was made over to Abraham as a possession in the presence of the Hittites, for all who went in at the gate of his city. After this, Abraham buried Sarah his wife in the cave of the field of Machpelah east of Mamre, in the land of Canaan. The field and the cave that is in it were made over to Abraham as property for a burying place by the Hittites. Now Abraham was old, well advanced in years, and the Lord had blessed Abraham in all things. And Abraham said to his servant, the oldest of his household, who had charge of all that he had, put your hand on my thigh, and that I may make you swear by the Lord, the God of heaven and God of the earth, and you will not take a wife for my son from the daughters of the Canaanites, among whom I dwell. And I will go to my country and to my kindred, and take a wife for my son Isaac. The servant said to him, perhaps the woman may not be willing to follow me to this land. Must then I take your son back to the land from which you came? Abraham said to him, see to it that you do not take my son back there. The Lord, the God of heaven, who took me from my father's house and from the land of my kindred, who spake to me and swore to me, to your offspring I will give this land, he will send his angel before you, and you shall take a wife for my son from there. But if the woman is not willing to follow you, then you will be free from this oath of mine. Only you must not take my son back there. So the servant put his hand under the thigh of Abraham his master, and swore to him concerning his master. And the servant took 10 of his master's camels and departed, taking all sorts of choice gifts from his master. He arose and went to Mesopotamia, into the city of Nahor. And he made the camels kneel down outside the city by the well of water at the time of evening, at the time when women go out to draw water. And he said, O God of my master Abraham, please give me success today, and show steadfast love to my master Abraham. Behold, I am standing by the spring of water, and the daughters of the men of the city are coming out to draw water. Yet let the young woman to whom I shall say, please let down your jar that I may drink, and who shall say drink, and I will water your camel. Let her be the one whom you have appointed for your servant Isaac. By this I shall know that you have shown steadfast love to my master. And before he had finished speaking, behold, Rebekah, who was born to Bethuel, the son of Milcah, the wife of Nahor, Abraham's brother, came out with a water jar on her shoulder. The young woman was very attractive in appearance, and Laban, whom no man had known. She went down to the spring and filled her jar and came out. Then the servant ran to meet her and said, please give me a little water to drink from your jar. He said, drink, my lord. And she quickly let down her jar upon her hand and gave him a drink. And she had finished giving him a drink. She said, I will draw water for your camels, Esther, until you have finished drinking. So she quickly emptied her jar into the trough and ran again to the well to draw water. So she drew for all his camels. The man gazed at her in silence to learn whether he had prospered his journey or not. And the camels had finished drinking. The man took a gold ring weighing a half shekel, and 2 bracelets for her arms weighing 10 gold shekels, and said, please tell me whose daughter you are. Is there room in your father's house for us to spend the night? He said to him, I am the daughter of Bethuel the son of Milcah, whom she bore to Nahor. She added, we have plenty of both straw and fodder, and room to spend the night. And the man bowed his head and worshipped the Lord, and said, blessed be the Lord, the God of my master Abraham, who has not forsaken his steadfast love and his faithfulness toward my master. As for me, the Lord has led me in the way to the house of my master's kingdom. Then the young woman ran and told her mother's household about these things. Rebekah had a brother whose name was Laban. Laban ran out toward them to the spring. As soon as he saw the ring and the bracelet from his sister's arms, and heard the words of Rebekah his sister, thus the man spake to me. He went to the man, and behold, he was standing by the camels at the spring. He said, come in, O blessed of the Lord. Why do you stand outside? For I prepared the house and a place for the camels. So the man came to the house and unharnessed the camels. He gave straw and fodder to the camels, and there was water to wash his feet and feed the men who rode with him. And the food was set before him to eat. And he said, I'll not eat until I have said what I have to say. He said, Speak on. So he said, I am Abraham's servant. The Lord has greatly blessed my master, and he has become great. He has given him flocks and herds, silver and gold, male servants and female servants, camels and donkeys. And Sarah, my master's wife, bore a son to my master when she was old. And to him he has given all that she has. My master made me swear, saying, You shall not take a wife for my son from the daughters of the Canaanites, in whose land I dwell, but you shall go to my father's house and to my clan, and take a wife for my son. I said to my master, Perhaps the woman will not follow me. But he said to me, The Lord, whom I have walked, will send his angel with you and prosper your way. You shall take a wife for my son from my clan and from my father's house. Then you will be free from my oath when you come to my clan. And they will not give her to you, and if they will not give it to you, you will be free from my oath. And I came today to the spring and said, O Lord, the God of my master Abraham, if now you are prospering the way that I go, behold, I am standing by the spring of water, and let the virgin who comes out to draw water, to whom I shall say, Please give me a little water from your jar to drink, and he will say to me, Drink, and I will draw for your camels. Let her be the woman whom the Lord has known for my master's son. Before I had finished speaking on my heart, behold, Rebekah came out with water on a jar, with a wood jar on her shoulder. And she went down to the spring and drew water. I said to her, Please let me drink. She quickly let down her jar from her shoulder and said, Drink, and I will give your camels drink, I said. So I drank, and she gave the camels drink, I said. Then I drank. I asked her, Whose daughter are you? She said, The daughter of Bethuel, Nahor's son, whom Milcah bore him. So I put the ring on her nose and the bracelets on her arms. Then I bowed my head and worshipped the Lord and blessed the Lord. And blessed the Lord. Bless the Lord, the God of my master Abraham, who had led me the right way to take the daughter of my master's kinsman for a son. Now then, if you are going to show steadfast love and faithfulness to my master, tell me, and if not, tell me, that I may turn to the right hand or to the left. Then Laban and Bethuel answered and said, The thing has come from the Lord, and he cannot speak to you bad and good. Behold, Rebekah is before you. Take her and go, and let her be the wife of your master's son, as the Lord has spoken. When Abraham's servant heard their words, he bowed himself to the earth before the Lord. And the servant brought out jewelry of silver and of gold, and garments, and gave them to Rebekah. He also gave to her brother and to her mother costly ornaments. And he and the men who were with him ate there, and they spent the night there. And when they arose in the morning, he said, Send me away to my master. And my brother and her mother said, Let the young woman remain in us with the wife at least 10 days. After that she may go. And he said to her, Do not delay me, since the Lord has prospered my way. Send me away so that I may go to my master. And he said, Let's call the young woman and ask her. And they said to Rebekah and said to her, Will you go with this man? She said, I'll go. So they sent her away, Rebekah, their sister, and their nurse, and Abraham's servant and his men. And they blessed Rebekah and said to her, Our sister, you may become thousands of 10,000, and may your offspring possess the gaiety of those who hate him. And then Rebekah and her young woman arose and rode on the camels and followed the men. Thus the servant took Rebekah and went his way. Now Isaac had returned from Beer-lahai-roi and was dwelling in the Negev. And Isaac went out to meditate in the field and toward evening. And he lifted up his eyes and saw, and behold, there were camels coming. And Rebekah lifted up her eyes. And when she saw Isaac, she dismounted from the camel and said to the servant, Who is that man walking in the field to meet us? Isaac said, It is my master. And so she took a veil and covered herself. The servant told Isaac all the things that he had done. Then Isaac brought her into the tent of Sarah and his mother and took Rebekah. And she became his wife, and he loved her. So Isaac was comforted after his mother's death. Proverbs 7. Proverbs 8. Does not wisdom call? Does not understanding raise her voice? On the heights along the way, besides the way, at the crossroads she takes a stand. Besides the gates of the town, she is at the entrance of the portal. She cries, "To you and I call, and my cry is to the children of men. A simple ones, learn prudence. Those who calls, learn sense. Therefore I will speak noble things, and from my lips will come what is right. From my mouth will utter truth. Wickedness is abomination to my lips, and all the words of my mouth are righteous. There is nothing twisted or crooked in them. They are all straight to him who understands, and right to those who find knowledge. Take my instruction instead of silver, and knowledge rather than choice gold. For wisdom is better than jewels, and all that you who made design cannot compare with her. I wisdom dwell with prudence, and I find knowledge and discretion. And the fear of the Lord is hatred of evil. Pride and arrogance are in the way of evil, and perverted speech and hate. I have counsel and sound wisdom. I have insight, and I have strength. By me kings reign, and rulers decree what is just. By me princes rule, and nobles all who govern justly. I love those who love me, and those who seek me diligently find me. Riches and honor are with me, enduring wealth and righteousness. My fruit is better than gold, even fine gold, and my yield than choice silver. I walk in the way of righteousness, and in the paths of justice, granting an inheritance to those who love me, and filling their treasures. The Lord possessed me at the beginning of his work, the first of his acts of old. Ages ago I was set up at the first, before the beginning of the earth. When there were no depths, I was brought forth. When there were no springs abounding with water, before the mountains had been shaped, before the hills I was brought forth, and before he had made the earth with its spheres, from the first of the dust of the world. When he established the heavens, I was there. When he drew a circle on the face of the deep, when he made firm the skies above, when he established the fountains of the deep, when he assigned to the sea its limit, so that the waters might not transgress his command, when he marked out the foundations of the earth. Then I was beside him like a master workman. I was daily his delight, rejoicing before him always, rejoicing in his inhabited world, and delighting in the children of man. And now, my sons, listen to me. Blessed are those who keep my ways, hear instruction and be wise, and do not neglect it. Blessed is the one who listens to me, watching daily at my gates, waiting beside my doors. And whoever finds me finds life and obtains favor from the Lord. And he who fails to find me injures himself. All who hate me love death. Psalm 75. We give thanks to you, O God. We give thanks for your name is named. We account your wondrous deeds. At the set time that I appoint, I will judge with equity. When the earth totters and all its inhabitants, it is I who keep steady its pillars. I say to the boastful, do not boast, and to the wicked who do not lift up your horn. Do not lift up your horn on high, nor speak with haughty neck. For not from the east or from the west, and not from the wilderness comes lifting up. It is God who executes judgment, putting down one and lifting up another. For in the hand of the Lord there is a cup with foaming wine well mixed, and he pours out from it. And all the wicked of the earth shall drain down to the dregs. And I will declare it forever. And I will sing praises to the God of Jacob. And all the horns of the wicked I will cut off, but the horns of the righteous shall be lifted up. Now the stone dashing out to the Lord's prayer. Please my hands. Our Father in heaven, hallowed be your name. Your kingdom come, your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us today our daily bread. Forgive us our debts as we also forgive our debtors. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from the evil one. For yours is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. Amen. See you tomorrow. Bye.